everybody, it is Sunday, so welcome to another reading vlog and a very hot day. It's like supposed to be 95 I think today. The heat index is like, I don't know, 102, 105, somewhere around there. It's hot in my little corner. Got my little fan going here. I think I made a mistake when I put my desk over here because the air conditioner's on the other side. Before I got too cold, but I think I'd rather be too cold with the air conditioner blowing on me all the time than too hot. Oh, one of these days I may switch it back. But anyway, I am going to talk about the books that I am currently working on, and I don't think I'm going to even try to attempt to mention books that I might get to this week, because you know how I am, and I never read what I say I'm going to read. So we'll just go with what I'm currently reading. So I have an ebook, and it is To the Devil A Cryptid by Hunter SHEA. The black and white version is not the best, but basically the cover is red with this black figure in the middle. Whoops. And it's supposed to be about the goat man. I haven't gotten very far in it. I was going to read it last week, and then I just never got around to it, watching too much Downton Abbey. And so I do need to get to this one. It's really short, like 160 something pages, I think. It's by Hunter SHEA. I usually like all of Hunter SHEA's stuff, so I am excited to get to this one. It's one of his new ones, and just to see what I think about it. And yeah, pretty much all I know is it's about a goat man. It's like the cryptid goat thing, it's goat devil or whatever. It's got like the horns. I'll have to put the cover up here so you can actually see what it looks like, because that doesn't really show you anything. Then I am reading on Onyeka and the Academy of the Sun by this author here, and I am not going to do her a disservice by pronouncing it wrong, because I have no idea how to say it. And I am this far into it, chapter 13, page 101. There are 298 pages, I think, in this, so not real long. I've been reading this a couple chapters before I go to bed, and so far it's not too bad. It's about the girl with magic hair, and that just seems weird to me, but they're kind of they're called Solari, and it's a Nigerian folklore, and they're kind of like mutants, because they even said that, like when she said something about being a superhero, and the one other said more like mutants. So they have these abilities that do kind of remind you a little bit of like the mutant shows or whatever it is. With one has ice, that he does something with ice. He made these like ice stairs with his hands and things like that. And she has like the wild, like it has to do, like, if she gets angry, her hair just kind of, or I guess if she if somebody's in trouble, because that's what got her into this mess in the first place, was that she rescues her friend who was drowning, or actually her hair rescued her friend that was drowning, and that's how she found out that her hair did stuff. So yeah, not too bad. And I am still working on Never Seen by Shannon Messenger, which is the fourth book in the Keeper of the Lost City. I haven't gotten very far on it either, which I'm going to need to work on that a little bit more if I'm going to finish this before the end of the month. But I'm on chapter 10, which is not quite even 100 pages. I'm on 94 pages. So yeah, 672 pages. I do need to read a bit more. I wish I could get the audiobooks of those, but they're only Audible exclusive, and I don't have Audible, so that sucks. I am also listening to Murder in the Irish Churchyard by Carleen O'Connor. It's the third book in the Irish Village series, and I think I'm about a little over 50%. I think I have like 4 hours and something to go on it, and so I should be able to finish that fairly quick into the week. And also, I am starting this one, Revenge for a Duchess by Sarah Orwig. You would have already saw my try a chapter tag type thing that I did. I was wanting to read a romance, and I picked ones that either I liked a little bit of what I read on the back whenever I hauled them, or I liked the covers. Like, I really like this cover, and it just sounded good. And the back sounded really interesting too. And if you watch that try a chapter, you will have heard about it. The first chapter in this made me chuckle because it was about her two uncles, and they're trying to be highwaymen because they're broke and they need to they need the money to save their place, and things don't go quite the way they planned. And I haven't got to the part where they get in trouble, but they do get caught by the one's daughter, which was kind of funny. And so yeah, I've only read the first chapter, but I am really excited to get into this. I think I'll probably work on this one tonight because I'm just in the mood for that. I kind of in a little bit of a lazy mood. I was wanting to do some things, but I just don't think I'm in the mood. I got a sting on my hand. I had a Band-Aid on there, and it's got some leftover particles from, I had a baking soda thing on there. But my hand was so sweaty, it came off and everything crumbled off and stuff. So I will try to put something on there again. I left all the material downstairs, the putty that I made and everything and stuff. But yeah, it's just too hot for a Band-Aid to stick. So it hurts. It like really hurts. And so that's just kind of thrown me off, I guess, and I'm just not in the mood to do some things. I do think I'm going to look into some things on the computer so I don't have to like do too much of anything. And yeah, that's pretty much my Sunday. Lay in front of the air conditioner or sit in front of the air conditioner because it's hot, but it's not raining, so I'm kind of happy that it's not raining. At least I was really tired of the rain. I don't necessarily want it to go from cold rain to 95, but that's kind of how it is around here. I would prefer to be in like the 70s and enjoy spring and not go from like all that nasty stuff to summer, but is what it is. And I would rather be this way than cold because I can never stay warm in my home. It's very drafty. It was not made correctly, and there are lots of drafts, and it's just cold all the time. So I would prefer to be hot than cold. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. I will pop back on here when I have something interesting to say or I read something. Hello everybody, happy Thursday, and I have been a slacker this week again. It's just been kind of a crazy week. I finally got my eBay store up and running, and it took a little bit to get myself going and getting things listed, and I only have a few things listed, and then it just is like crazy, and some issues happened with like the first order, like right off the bat. I'm like, really, on my very first order, I was so worried about it, but then people were like, no, you can do this, and I was like, oh, okay. So got that figured, got that taken care of, and had another order, and got it taken care of. And then just a few minutes ago, I got another one, and it was funny because the one that I had the problems with, I relisted, and then I sold it again. So who would have thought that the Godfather video game would have been so popular that I sold it twice in one day? But there we go. The ins and outs of trying to learn how to be a reseller is going to be cutting into my reading time, I have a feeling. And that's okay, because I've been wanting to try to figure out how to do this. Not only just to get rid of some stuff that I have in my room and in the other room, and things that I would just throw away. And I thought I would try to see if, if they're pretty popular and selling, I could sell them and stuff like that, instead of just like tossing everything away. And also, I've been watching a lot of resale videos so that I know what to look for when I'm out and about, so that I can shop for things and buy cheap and sell on eBay. And so yeah, so I've just been watching a lot of videos, plus I've got my store going, and I'm gonna have to find a balance on like how much time every day I'm going to sit down and do things and stuff like that, and try not to get distracted, because I am like the world's worst at getting distracted. And my father doesn't help, because he hollers at me all the time, I need help with this or that. And so I'm gonna see how it goes, but I have a feeling that my reading's going to slow down. So I don't know, but I have 2 books that I should have already talked to you about. I just, at the end of the day, I was just like, I just didn't want to. And so now I've probably forgotten everything that there is about the books. So it'll be really quick. Okay, so the first one is the book I listened to, which is Murder in an Irish Churchyard by Carleen O'Connor. I finished this one up, I believe, on Monday, Sunday night or Monday, somewhere around there. And it was a lot better than the second book, I will give it that. I think I give it about 3.5. I'd probably give it 4 stars on Goodreads. The main character still gets on my nerves a little bit, but it's a little better than the second book, because in the second book she was doing things that was really, really irritating, that had to do with the police and stuff. And in this one, she is now, and there's been like a 2-year gap or whatever it is between the second book and the third book, because there's a big transition, because she's like with the Garda now. So Siobhan's like a brand new Garda, and she still thinks that she can just do whatever she wants. And I'm like, no, now you have bosses. So when you think you have a lead or something, but they're like, no, we already caught the bad guy, you can't just go off on your own willy-nilly. That doesn't work that way. Not like you did before then. So she's gonna have to learn how to, I guess, work with that and stuff. And it had a lot of funny moments in it. And this one, I had an American family that was in Ireland. They were doing a documentary and researching their family heritage and everything. And then the oldest member is killed, and or one of the oldest members killed. And they got to figure out who done it. And it was kind of hard for me to figure out. I thought it was this one person. It ended up being the other, and I was like, who would have thought that person? I didn't even think about. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, liked it a lot better than the second one. So I will continue on with the series. That was my thing. I was about to stop. The main character was just totally irritating me, and I was like, no. But then I saw that there was this change in the third book, and so I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. My buddy read this with a couple from Killing Time with Cozies, Sherry and Melmac from there, and we all liked it. Melmac, of course, liked it more than us, but she liked the second book more than us too. So, but me and Sherry, we were about to give it a no-go on the series, and we thought, well, we'll all buddy read it and see, and we all enjoyed it a lot more than the second book. So I will continue on with it. May not be like right now, but I will continue on with the series. It's just not going to be like a favorite or anything, but it'll be an okay series, I think. And then I listened to Still Life with Crows by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. It's the 4th book in the Pendergast series. Loved it. It was great. It was gory. It was a bit gross. It was. Especially listening to it. And this one, we're in Kansas. There's a... They found a body that was like just mutilated in a field, and they're thinking maybe there's like some kind of crazy serial killer or something going on. And there was an animal, a dog that had gotten killed. I didn't like that part, and especially what happened to it. It was a little gross, but that was the only one. And there was other deaths, and people were scared, and Agent Pendergrass comes in, and that man is strange. He is just so strange. I just don't have him figured out. I don't know if you're supposed to have him figured out, but he's got this slow southern drawl, and I really like it whenever the narrator for this one, which was Scott Brick, he did a really good job. Now, I know he only does a certain amount of them, and then it has another narrator change. But everybody says that's the one that they absolutely love. So hopefully I do too. Because I really like Scott Brick right now. I like how he does Pendergast. He does a really good job. But that man is strange. He drives a Rolls Royce. And he's an agent. So I don't get him. He's got like his own thing too. Because like, he's like his own branch of something. I'm not really quite sure. I just don't have him figured out. And I don't think anybody else has him figured out either. But he shows up and he's investigating, and he picks the strangest people to be like his assistants. And like, there's this young girl, Corey, who's like a troublemaker. The sheriff there doesn't like her, but she's got a car, and you know, she's strapped for cash, and he wants her to show him around the city and everything, like the town, and kind of be at his beck and call, like if he needs to go somewhere to drive him around, because he didn't have his car. He took a bus, so he didn't have his car with him, and he needed somebody to drive him around. He paid her really well to like drive him around and everything, and she kind of gets into the whole investigating thing. Though the first time she goes into the field and sees the nasty, it didn't go well for her. But she wanted to do it. She's really kind of interested in trying to figure things out. Gets herself in a little bit of trouble later on, because instead of asking him about things, she's like, well, he something happened, and he's like, I don't think he'll like want me doing this. So she went off on her own. You know that never works out. Never works out. And so yeah, so it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was one of those where you're like, is it supernatural? Is it a person? Is there something wrong with that person? Like, I mean, there's a whole lot of people speculating a whole lot of things. The sheriff in the town doesn't like Pendergast being there, and it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. How many times am I going to say that? It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. I really liked it. I did. And so now I am reading. I should have finished the book in here, and I should have, but I just haven't had time. It's a short one. Like, I think I'm like 44% into it. I should have been finished by now. But I am reading To the Devil, A Cryptid by Hunter SHEA. That is going to be my next book done, because I've got to get it done. And I am also reading on Revenge for a Duchess by Sarah Orwig, and this one is really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I am 82 pages into it. Just, haven't had a lot of reading time, but I'm getting there. If she ends up with a duke, I just don't see it, because they do not like each other. He is mean. He's not nice. It really does have like this Beauty and the Beast kind of feel to it. She ends up having to, because they get caught trying to be highwaymen, she ends up having to go and try to get herself married off to a rich man, pretty much. while she's doing that, she's going to be staying at the Duke's house. That's his stipulation. She has to stay there. She has to wear these elaborate dresses and fix herself up and try to catch a rich man. If she doesn't, they have 4 weeks. If she doesn't, then he's going to send her and her father and her uncle to Newgate because they are the highwaymen. So, they do not get along. And it makes me chuckle. It's a lot of fun. Also working on this one still. So I have Onika and the Academy of the Sun by this person here. I'm not even attempting. And I am that far into it, so almost halfway, but not quite. And it's been pretty good so far. It's your basic story about a girl finds out she has powers, goes to a place to learn about her powers, and that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Okay, the big chunker, it is not going well. I am still working on Never Seen, of course, and yeah, I haven't gotten far. I am only 106 pages into this. I've already told Sherry that I probably am not going to get this done by the end of the month. It just probably isn't going to happen. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I think I'm just not in the mood. I didn't like this third one that well, and this one, though it's okay, it's just, I'd rather read something else. That's kind of my problem right now. But I'm going to have to get more into it, and I think maybe, things will happen. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, rambled on enough. So, that is everything I have to talk about. I'm going to put a clip in here, either before or after, of my baby garden, because it rained so much, I never got to make a garden. So I have like 3 tomato plants and an eggplant plant in some containers, and that's my garden. Because I never got to do anything. And so I'm a little bummed about that fact. I think it's kind of too late to start one. And it's like super hot here. You can tell I'm all shiny. It's pretty hot. But yeah, so I'll put that in here. But anyway, I'm rambling. So I will see you hopefully whenever I finish To the Devil Encrypted. Hello everybody, it is Saturday evening and I am going to talk about 3 books that I have finished recently. 2 of them today and 1 of them like yesterday or the day before. It's just been a crazy week, and I haven't really got as much done as I thought. I mean, I was really surprised that I got done what I did today. And a lot of that's due to audiobooks, because I'm probably going to be listening to quite a few audiobooks and everything. I finally finished my ebook, so I'm like, yay! That I just finished that not too long before I decided to pop on here. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about the books that I read, and then wrap the vlog up and everything so that I can work on it tomorrow and get it, hopefully get it loaded up Sunday like I normally do, so we'll see. And so the first book I have is Beaches in Paradise by Kathy Daly, and this one is the 8th book, I believe, in the T.J. Jensen and Paradise Lake, I think, series. T.J. Jensen series. Sometimes I hear it as like Paradise Lake, I think, or something like that. Anyway, T.J. Jensen. And they're really quick. Kathy Daly's books are usually pretty short on audiobook. This one was like, I think, a little over 5 hours. And so it didn't take me very long at all. I pretty much plowed through that one in one day. And so that was good. I had said I wasn't going to like participate in any like readathons, but I really wanted to try to at least kind of loosely participate in Hannah from Buggy Reads readathon that she has about finishing up some books or some series that you have on your SAS list that are either short or maybe you only have a couple books left in the series. And that's what I have with the T.J. Jensen. I only have one more book now to finish, so I only had 2 books to wrap up that series, and I thought, they're short, maybe I can go ahead and just kind of shoot them in here at the end of the month and get them finished. So that's what I'm going to do. And so with this one, in this one, I think her name is Gina, is TJ's friend. There's been an accident at the beginning and she's missing, and they're trying to put the pieces together. There was a body of one of the fancier guys from the area, I think, in there, but he was shot, and he was the passenger, and it was Gina's car they found, and she's nowhere around, so they don't know exactly what happened, if she got injured and was trying to find her way and got lost, or did whoever killed the guy kidnap her or something. And so it's kind of a race against time to try to figure out what in the world happened, and where is her friend and everything. And Gina, she knew that Gina, I think, was working with this guy, and I can't remember his name, and yeah, I just can't remember his name. And I don't know, some of the stuff was a little maybe not on board with, good stuff or whatever, but she knows that she's been working with this guy, and it has to do with certain things, and so they're trying to track down everything and trying to figure out what might have led up to this happening. And also, when they went to Gina's house to try to see if she was anywhere around there or if they could find any clues there was a strange man in her house, and he claimed to be her half-brother that she didn't know very well. Like, she knew she had a half-brother, and even TJ knew this, but she never mentioned anything about her half-brother coming to visit or anything. And so they weren't really quite sure what to do with that. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And then they find out a little bit later and stuff that, what's to do with that guy and everything. But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. I really like TJ and her family. She takes care of her younger siblings, and her father had, in a book previous, had gotten in a really bad accident, and so he's recuperating from that. And so he's helping around the resort, but he's not able to do as much as normal. And so she's having to try to balance, trying to make sure family first kind of thing, and making sure everything goes with all that. Trying to figure out what happened to her friend Gina, and trying to have some quality time with her boyfriend Kyle. And that's pretty much what this one was about. I'm really curious to see how it's going to end, because I do know that there's only the one left, and she hasn't written any more for this series, so I'm pretty sure this one is wrapped up, unless she pops one out, like later, because that happens sometimes. But I think it's pretty much wrapped up. So there's that. And then, okay, and so the next book I have is one that I had out on overdrive, and it was about to go back, so I wanted to try to fit it in. It was only a 7-hour audiobook, and I listened to it at 2.1 speed, because the narrator is like really kind of a mellow, slow. I really like him. I think his name is Kirby Highborn, I think, or something like that. And I like his voice, but it's just one that you can speed up and still understand. And so I had it sped up pretty quickly. And this one is about Alex, who he loves to write scary stories. He's been really into scary stories since he was a young kid and saw Night of the Living Dead. His parents didn't notice that he was watching it or peeking in and watching or whatever, and he's just been fascinated with that stuff ever since, and he likes to make up his own scary stories. But he was in these apartments, and from, I think it was number 4, he could hear the sounds from Night of the Living Dead. And it made him curious, and so he kind of like peeked in, and before you know it, he was in the apartment, and all of a sudden, wham bam. I mean, right off the bat, Alex gets caught in the webs of this witch. So it's kind of got a, what is it, 1001 Nights vibes, where there's that story where they have to keep telling a story every night so they don't die. And also little nod to Hansel and Gretel at the same time. And basically he has to stay alive, he has to tell this witch a story every night, a scary story. He's got to tell a scary story. He has his night books. He was going to throw his night books away because of some things that happened in school, and that's what kind of saves him, is he's got these stories in there and everything. He meets another girl that's in there, Yasmin, I think was her name. And she doesn't want anything to do with him. She just wants to do her job. Basically, she does, her job for the witch is to like make these potions and things like that the witch sells and stuff like that, and she does that to keep herself alive. And basically, once you're in this the witch's like lair thing, once you get trapped in there, you can't get out. They try all kinds of things. Well, Alex, he's like got this idea that he can he thinks he can figure out how to get out. He sees these books in the library and he reads up. There's other people that have been there, but there's also some like statues of kids all around that used to be kids that were in there. So this witch has been grabbing kids for quite a long time and stuff like that. So they're trying to scheme, trying to figure out how to get out, while he's also trying to write stories and tell her stories and all that kind of stuff. And it was pretty interesting. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I think I might have forgot to say, but I gave the Beaches in Paradise 4 stars too. I forgot to say. It's late at night and I need to go sleep. But anyway, I enjoyed that one. And then the last book is To the Devil, A Cryptid by Hunter SHEA. I should have had this finished a long time ago, but just reading like ebooks and everything is just not going well for me, especially since I have like 3 print books going, and then I had the ebook, and so yeah, it just took me a long time. I just kept putting the audiobooks in front of it, but I enjoyed it. Say right off the bat, I gave it 4 stars. That way I forget. But it's your basic kind of creature feature. It's about the goat man, and I don't remember where it's set. But anyway, they have this, there's this bridge that is called the Goatman Bridge, and basically there is a tale in this town that if you go to the bridge, you knock 3 times, the Goatman will come up and will scare you and, you know, make you leave or whatever. And it's just a scary story that people have passed down and told and everything. Well, it starts off at the beginning. There is a cult ritual with these people that are wanting to sacrifice a goat to the devil to, you know, make the goat man or whatever it is and stuff. And so it's a whole like devil thing. And there's a guy who is sick and tired of these people killing stray cats and stuff like that. So he's out there thinking that he's going to be able to stop these people that are in their robes and doing their thing. And at the beginning you have like, there's a couple, one of the guys that's at the ritual, I mean, like, he doesn't even care about the ritual. He's just there because of the lady that's leading it, who he thinks is hot. So I mean, it's kind of stupid, but she had like a whole book of things and she was doing her thing, and the guy was trying to save the goat, but it doesn't go right. That doesn't quite go so good. But there was a lightning strike that came down and it hit the man. The goat is dead. He ends up on top of the goat. Bunch of stuff happens, like it like blows them all back. I mean, there was just this like big thing, like lightning strike thing that happened. And the one guy who was like just there because of the hot girl, he's still alive, but he's like really hot because I mean it caused this big fire like thing. And you look around and there's all these charred bodies and things like that. And from this, what happened came the goat man. A not so nice goat man. A rampaging beast. Because the ritual or whatever that happened may have had a little truth to it or something, and instead of this nice little fairy tale about the knock 3 times and this nice little goat comes up and scares you, we've got a giant goat man who's going around killing people, and that's pretty much the book. You got this big goat man. He going around. He pretty much decimates this whole town. You've got, of course, you've got some characters that, I mean, basically you don't want to get attached to anybody because you know they're probably not going to survive. But there is, there's Samantha and Tina, and then there was Lou and Chad, and they were kind of like the main ones. But then you're still not sure if who's going to survive out of those main ones. We'll just say that. And they're trying to figure out what in the heck is going on. And there's a connection with Sam. I just don't want to say what in case somebody wants to read it. But yeah, pretty much it's like this the creature feature where you got this big creature and he's going around and he's just pretty much decimating this town, and you've got these couples that are trying to figure out how to get rid of it, and they think they kind of figure out that it has something to do with whatever was going on in the woods, because Chad was he was a podcaster, him and his friend, and they were there to feature the goat man, but not the scary goat man, the other one. They had a podcast called Monstrous Places, and so they just didn't know what they were getting themselves into. And one of them ends up dying right off the bat. And so you have Chad who's trying to get away, everything. But he thinks he has an idea that must have had something to do with this ritual that had happened in the woods. And so they're trying to figure out how to stop it. And got this little old priest. And basically I think it would make a really good B-rated horror film. Because it was silly, but it was fun. And it's definitely the Hunter SHEA type story that I really like, that I think is fun. And so yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. He always has some strange endings in some of his creature books and things that makes you kind of go, really? but it was okay. I liked it. And so I think this week I finished 5 books. I think I finished 5 books, which was better than I thought it was going to be. If I wouldn't have put those kind of shorter audiobooks in there, I probably wouldn't even made it that far. But I did finish, let's see, I finished Murder at the Irish Churchyard, which by Carleen O'Connor, which I actually enjoyed more than the second book. It's the 3rd book in the Irish Village series. And so 3.5 up it to 4 on Goodreads. Then I read, oh, how could I forget that? Then I listened to Still Life with Crows by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child and gave that one 5 stars. I really like that one. A lot of fun. I love Pendergrass. He's so fun. It's just a fun series. And then, of course, these last 3 that I mentioned here. So, yeah, 5 books. Not too bad. And we'll see how next week goes. I have so many books that I want to read, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to fit them into the month. I'm running out of month. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video for what it was. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.